catchy title, ain't it? I normally do not bother with voiceovers because they blow up render time, I need to write long scripts and make it work as video files in a given time frame. This is difficult. However, this time I felt pressure to do one because of the 5th coloration of Azur Lane with World of Warships and Wargaming trying to scam us Azur Lane players. What do I mean with scam? It has to do with the contents of the 5th wave. Mainly the ships that are in it. On the commander side we get Prinz Heinrich, Colorado, Cheshire, 3 commanders this time. First to 3rd wave had 7. Second wave lost 2 because of the voice actress incident, link in the description below. 4th to 6 commanders, and now we got 3. Sucks, but nothing that bothered me too much. Makes bundles cheaper for them. What really grinds my gears is one of the premium ships. It's Azur Lane Prinz Heinrich to be specific. At least, well, they tried to sell us as Azur Lane Prinz Heinrich. This is actually a Azur class battlecruiser from the First World War. They just painted Azur Prinz Heinrich and trying to sell us as it would be the same ship. The Azur Lane Prinz Heinrich in Azur Lane is a P class heavy cruiser. See? P class heavy cruiser. Says so in the wiki, says so in game. Anybody working at Manju could have told that Wargaming right away. But apparently this did not happen. And Wargaming assumed that because it had the same name, it has to be the same ship. So to answer the question which of them actually has the naming right, well, that goes to Manju and Azur Lane. Azur Lane Prinz Heinrich was introduced at 29 December 2020, a bit earlier with like when they told us about the event coming up. Wargaming on the other hand has introduced their battlecruiser Prinz Heinrich somewhere in July 2021, so half a year later. One could think they maybe should have talked to each other about using the same name, which apparently didn't happen, but it doesn't bother me too much that they apparently didn't pay attention to each other. What bothers me is that they're now trying to sell the ship in a way that it isn't it. As I said earlier, it's a P-class heavy cruiser, not the Azur class we are getting now sold as a premium Azur Prinz Heinrich. And the scam doesn't stop there. If you go to the wiki, it will say Azur Prinz Heinrich, German Special Premium Tier 7 battleship. And then next line will say Prinz Heinrich is a P-class heavy cruiser of the Iron Blood. How does that make any sense? You can immediately tell by looking at the artwork of Prinz Heinrich that these are triple 283mm guns. And not the one that this ship has. They look vastly different from the rigging and everything else. This is ignorant and absolutely disrespectful towards us Azur Lane players to sell us a wrong ship. To make matters worse, it's not like they have a ship that is suitable in testing right now, called the Shill, a Tier 8 Handelszerstörer. Given the fact it also looks slightly different from the secondary layout, one could argue, yeah, well, maybe it doesn't look like exactly like the rigging of Prinz Heinrich, but I would have been fine with it. Because Manju only has to pay attention to what is written in the internet or in the German archives about how the ship might have designed and design a rigging that roughly resembles like a couple of the guns it has in it. Wargaming on the other hand has to completely create a ship from scratch. So I would have been fine with this an adaptation, and maybe Manju could have just changed the double 150mm secondary of Prinz Heinrich to a triple one. And this would have been an interpretation of a P-class, so to say. I know a couple of people have read it who have said this is a different ship. Wargaming says this is like one of the cancelled O-class battlecruisers, a Handelszerstörer radar. It comes relatively close to what the P-class might have been. At least it would have made sense to sell. But apparently with the 4th wave, something changed for Wargaming towards the attitude of Azur Lane players. We got copy-paste to 3 XC ships, now Cole as Zuma, and the copy-paste premium of Rover. Past ships, in the 1st wave we didn't have any, it was the 1st wave. The 2nd wave actually had Al Yukikaze in, a Kakaro's Type 3 8km Shima torpedoes, very different playstyle. Then we have the Al Montpellier, which is a Cleveland clone, with a slightly longer reload but better Sigma. What is better and if these are like competitive is a completely different discussion, but at least an attempt was made to create something unique. Same in the 3rd wave, with RL Sovetskaya Russia. Uses American dispersion on the Sovietsky Soyuz, the Sovietsky Soyuz itself is a good ship. And then we have the RL Littorio, which is a straight up Roma clone. Don't be mistaken, Roma is a very good ship still. Final conclusion. The 5th wave is so far the worst. It is so bad that I'm 1 week later after reading it for the first time, I'm still fuming about the Prinz Heinrich scam. Because I as an Azur player feel betrayed by Wargaming trying to fake me and thinking this is the same ship. And anybody with eyes can immediately tell this isn't. To make matters worse for Wargaming, I would have bought the Cheshire, because the Cheshire right now is locked away behind loot boxes. And I actually like the camo. I think the camo looks excellent. I think all the new camos for the Azur lane ships that can be applied to ships existing in the game look excellent. And I don't mind to buy a camo for a premium ship that already has a camo if it's Isle themed. This will lead me to use my free farm dubs from ranked for the commanders and not bother with the rest. World of Warships after all is a great free to play game and the previous collaborations are all great. And for new players, buying 10-point commanders with the Azur lane collab coming up makes sense. Like, that's a good investment. 10-point commanders give you the most basic builds you could need to run the ships efficiently. As I do not only want to complain, I also want to offer a solution, a possible one that could have been taken. For example, since the same event, we have Peter Stresser. You could have cloned the Graf Zeppelin and just called it RL Peter Stresser. No big work taken. Possible way to introduce an additional commander to the game. Or we take the champagne for example that you can't purchase right now. That could have also been a possible premium to introduce with an Azur lane camo and sell for the full price. Please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts about this are.